Let's tell the truth. Having control can feel really nice. Whether it's planning a family vacation just right or having freedom to be creative at work, being in control makes us feel powerful and excited. When we're in control, things seem more predictable and it makes us feel relaxed, like we can see what's coming in the future. But thinking we can always stop anything surprising or uncomfortable from happening is not true. If we step back and look at our desire for control, we'll see an unhealthy and unrealistic way to hide our anxiety. A kind of anxiety we should bring to Jesus. We might believe that having control gives us safety and security, but it can prevent us from experiencing a beautiful life of faith. It can make us cling tightly to our idols and stop us from growing in our relationship with Christ. This doesn't mean we have no control in life. God has given us free will and the ability to manage our lives, make decisions, and handle our responsibilities. Sitting around and expecting God to do everything is not realistic. We still need to make choices, obey, and use wisdom as we go through life. However, our aim should be to live with God, not relying solely on our own strength and way of doing things. So how can we use the control God has given us while trusting in His sovereignty? God desires us to rest, and it's not just about getting enough sleep or lounging on the beach. When we feel the need to be in control, true rest becomes elusive. If everything relies on us, taking an afternoon off might seem risky. What if we miss an email? What if our child loses an opportunity because of our inaction? Rest becomes impossible when we try to play gods in our own lives. The desire for control hinders us from finding rest in God's provision. He is in control, even when it doesn't feel that way, and He invites us to trust Him with our futures, expectations, and hopes. When fear or worry about tomorrow creeps in, we can cast our concerns on Him because He knows exactly how to handle our needs and our hearts. Trusting Him allows us to live without constant worry, knowing our good Father is at work, even when we sleep. To discover true rest, we must start by acknowledging God, not just turning to Him when everything else fails. However, letting go of control is far from easy. Learning to rest takes time, and allowing the Holy Spirit to assist us. To let go of control, you need to surrender your entire life to God. If you're anything like me, the word surrender might bring to mind someone raising their hands during a fight, giving in, feeling vulnerable, with nothing left because they've run out of options. They are at the mercy of their opponent. However, when we surrender to God, we're entrusting our problems to more capable hands. In Matthew 11:28-30, Jesus says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Trying to control everything around us as we walk through life is exhausting. We often take on burdens that were not meant for us to carry. Surrendering control is not about giving up, but allowing God to work through our confusion. Trusting God can be challenging when we face unexpected situations for which we weren't prepared and lack the immediate energy to fix. Unforeseen events, like unexpected bills, job loss, or receiving distressing news from the doctor, can plunge us into anxiety. However, even when we can't see the outcome, God can. Learning to trust in God involves recognizing that not only is He in control, but also that He is trustworthy. Proverbs 3:5-6 advises us to trust in God and not rely solely on our own understanding. Depending on our limited knowledge of life circumstances leads to decisions based on incomplete information. When we release control and trust God, we are following His call to walk by faith and let Him be God. We won't know everything in advance. It's impossible. As believers, we stop searching for crystal balls that claim to predict the future and instead trust the God who is with us. We can't foresee what will happen in the next 5 minutes, but this uncertainty compels us to trust God moment by moment, navigating through life's surprises with Him. When things go wrong, our faith often wavers. We start questioning our beliefs, feeling like we didn't expect to be in this situation, and God seems distant. We might wonder why He didn't shield us from difficulties, and His promises suddenly seem uncertain. But let's revisit the beginning. When you first began trusting God, ask yourself this: did He ever promise that nothing unexpected would happen to you? On the contrary, our promise is, in this world, you will have trouble. John 16:33. And what follows makes all the difference. But be of good cheer. Don't worry about that. I have overcome the world. In other words, nothing you face is too difficult for Him to solve. So, returning to the foundation of your faith, is it dependent on circumstances or on God? He desires our faith to be limitless, not conditional on certain situations. The foundation of your faith should be God Himself. Jesus said, "Have faith in God," Mark 11:22, without adding any clauses. This means being grounded on the rock, trusting Him even when, in the natural, there seems to be no reason to. I understand it's challenging to remain in faith when things go wrong. But here's the beauty of it. God will provide the grace you need to get through it. However, this grace won't come if you choose to be upset and doubt Him. God's ways can be beyond our comprehension, but His motive remains constant: to bless us with goodness. This remains true even when we have to endure pain in the process. So, my friends, don't attempt to unravel what God is doing. Simply trust Him, and eventually, everything will fall into place. It might not be easy, especially when numerous things go wrong, but perseverance is key. Our main battle is to maintain faith, and at some point things will improve. You will experience joy when you emerge on the other side of your troubles. When the day is over, our control is limited to certain aspects. Our character, our behavior, and how we decide to react to our circumstances. Letting go of control, especially when we're accustomed to tightly holding onto our plans and decisions, can be truly challenging. However, with the assistance of the Holy Spirit, we can start making choices that guide us toward a deeper trust in God, the one with good plans and hope for our lives. Reflect on your life and your relationship with control. Pray to God for help in releasing everything you've been clinging to, so that He can guide you to His glorious future. My friends, if you found these words helpful, I encourage you to share them with your loved ones. Feel free to hit the subscribe button now. Additionally, take a moment to listen to this message from Jesus Christ. When you search for the word first in the Bible, you encounter this teaching. Prioritize going to God with your problems. Don't turn to the bar. Don't numb your fears with narcotics, and don't deny your struggles. Instead, take your problems first to Christ. As advised, seek first the kingdom and His righteousness. Everything else will follow. Here's a piece of advice to carry into this year that can save you from heartaches. Go first to God with your problems. The moment a problem arises, take it to God, rather than venting to friends or family or trying to solve it on your own. Putting God first is emphasized, urging you to actively seek His direction. God's strategies surpass our own, as expressed by the prophet Isaiah. Seeking God's wisdom and direction is crucial and achievable through prayer. The message encourages seeking God's guidance before making decisions, not merely asking for blessings on pre-made plans. The importance of putting God first and seeking His direction is emphasized, challenging you to make this year the one where you prioritize God. The text delves into the need to seek God's direction and acknowledges that many approach God with preconceived plans, seeking His blessing on decisions already made. The idea is presented that God desires to guide us, not just give us things. The text includes a reminder from Proverbs 3:5-6, advising trust in God and listening to His voice in all actions. The narrative then shifts to the concept of seeking God's guidance in everything and highlights the importance of not planning first and then praying for God to make it work. Instead, the emphasis is on praying about everything and acknowledging God in all ways, allowing Him to direct your path. The text concludes by stressing the need for consistent actions, aligned with beliefs and advocating for the development of positive habits that shape a better future. The overarching message encourages prioritizing God in decision, making and seeking His guidance through prayer for a more fulfilling and purposeful life.